Last night, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert became a blazing battleground when Senator Raphael Warnock stormed off the set after a heated clash with Stephen Colbert, a jaw-dropping showdown that left viewers stunned. The studio in chaos, social media erupting with the fallout. Sources say what began as a high-profile interview, with Warnock discussing his legislative work and moral leadership, spiraled into a fiery exchange, with Colbert's biting humor driving Warnock to a breaking point that ended in his dramatic exit, a moment already the night's viral bombshell. Before we dive into this explosive unraveling, drop a comment with where you're watching from. Hit subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this. Warnock, the Georgia senator and pastor known for his eloquent speeches and progressive stance, walked onto the set with his trademark poise, ready to talk his Senate achievements, his faith-driven mission. But Colbert wasn't here for a sermon, opening with a sharp jab. "Senator, you're a moral voice, or just a political showman?" The quip, laced with venom, hit hard, and insiders say the audience felt it, some chuckling, others tensing, as Warnock smiled tightly. "I'm a voice, Stephen. You're just a jester." The tension ignited fast. Colbert played a clip of a controversial Warnock vote. Critics split. "This is your mission," he grinned. "But is it principle or just optics?" Warnock fired back, his voice steady. "It's principle, Stephen. I serve, you mock." The crowd splitting, some cheering, others murmuring as producers watched, sensing the segment veering off script, friction brewing early. Sources say the room buzzed, Warnock's composure held, but Colbert's eyes gleamed. He spotted a crack, the stage set for a clash that would end with Warnock storming off. What's gripping everyone isn't just the start. It's how swiftly it turned heated. Warnock leaned in. "You don't get my fight, Stephen. I'm reshaping justice. You're reshaping punchlines." And Colbert struck. "Justice? You're reshaping drama, Senator. I'll prove it." His jab personal, piercing. The crowd gasped, some shouted, others filmed, as the clash took a raw turn, with Warnock's smile fading, Colbert's grin sharpening. The night charging toward a heated, chaotic peak, the confrontation just beginning to burn. The heated clash on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night surged into a blazing onslaught as Stephen Colbert, his wit a live spark, began tearing into Senator Raphael Warnock, the Georgia senator and pastor, with a series of cutting jabs that turned a tense interview into a volatile showdown, leaving the studio charged, producers on edge, Warnock's poised demeanor starting to fray. Sources say after Warnock's bold claim, "I'm reshaping justice," and his dismissal of Colbert's punchlines, the host fired back with venom, fueling a clash that's already burning up the internet, inching closer to Warnock's dramatic exit. Colbert, his grin sly, zeroed in on Warnock's political record. "Drama, Senator? Your votes spark fire, but your results flicker," his voice dripping with sarcasm as he rolled a clip of a divisive Warnock speech, critics slamming its rhetoric. The crowd reacting fast, some chuckling, others murmuring, while Warnock's tone sharpened. "Flicker? I deliver change, Stephen. You deliver jests." His retort firm, clipped, drawing cheers, boos, from the divided audience, the tension thickening with every word. The host pressed harder. "Change? Or just a loud, 'Act, Senator?' You're a one-man soapbox," sources say. Warnock's eyes narrowed, his voice rising. "Soapbox? I've fought for progress, Stephen. You've fought for laughs." The comeback bold, strained, the crowd erupting, some shouting, "Go Warnock," others jeering, as producers whispered, "He's hooked," their headsets buzzing. The segment, slipping from its usual polish, friction mounting. Colbert grinned. "Laughs? You're the spectacle, Senator. Your fuse is lit," his jab piercing, personal, stoking Warnock's fire. What fueled the blaze wasn't just the taunts, it was Warnock's defiance, Insiders report he leaned forward. Spectacle? I've got conviction, Stephen. I'm forging equity. You're forging gags. His tone raw, intense, and Colbert struck back. Equity? You're forging chaos, Senator. Look at you, pointing at his clenched fists. The audience splitting wider, some chanting, Colbert, Colbert. Others jeering, with phones filming, X-posts surging. Warnock's rattled, one read, racking up likes. As the clash grew fiercer, Warnock's composure slipping. The studio pulsed with heat. Sources say Warnock's hands gripped the desk. Chaos? I'm a force, Stephen. I'll outlast your snark, his voice trembling slightly. And Colbert pounced. Force? You're a soundbite now, Senator. Sparking live? His words ruthless, cutting. The crowd roaring, some standing, others yelling, while producers signaled a break, their hands waving. But Warnock pushed over. I'm not a soundbite, you're nothing. His bravado wobbling, the chaos swelling, with insiders noting, he's fraying. The night charging toward a heated, explosive peak, Colbert's assault unrelenting. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert erupted into a blazing inferno last night, as Stephen Colbert, his wit a searing torch, drove Senator Raphael Warnock, the Georgia senator and pastor, into a heated clash, a relentless barrage of biting taunts, turning a tense showdown into a public breaking point. Leaving the studio electric, the audience divided, Warnock's steadfast resolve crumbling under the pressure. Sources say Warnock's shaky vow, I'm not a soundbite, after defending his force, met Colbert's ruthless jab, inching closer to the confrontation that led to his storming off, a moment now dominating every platform. Colbert, his grin, sharp, intensified his attack. Soundbite, Senator? Your sermons are loud, but your impact's a whisper. His voice dripping with mockery as he flashed a montage, Warnock's fiery speeches, policy critiques piling, the crowd reacting hard, some laughing, others gasping, while Warnock's jaw clenched. Whisper? I'm a trailblazer, Stephen. You're a cynic. His voice loud, trembling, the audience surging, cheers clashing with boos, as producers watched, hands twitching, the live feed holding, tension soaring. The host dug deeper. Trailblazer? You're trailing drama, Senator. Look at the mess. His jab vicious, personal. And Warnock snapped back. Mess? I've fought for justice, Stephen. You've fought for nothing. His words fierce, faltering with strain. The crowd splitting, some shouting, Push on, Warnock. Others jeering, with phones filming, X-posts exploding. Warnock's shaken, one read, trending fast. Colbert grinned. Justice? You're fading now, Senator. Your fire's slipping. Pointing at his flushed glare, the audience roaring, some chanting, Break him, others pleading, Ease up, as the chaos swelled. What turned the heat into a wildfire wasn't just the insults. It was Warnock's fury. Insiders say he stood, slamming the desk, fading. I'm a force, Stephen. I'll bury you. His tone raw, roaring. And Colbert fired back. Force? You're a stunt factory, Senator. Bury yourself. His taunt ruthless, the crowd splitting wider, some rushing the stage edge, others yelling, with clips hitting X. Warnock's unhinged, racking up shares. As Warnock shouted, I'm not a stunt, I'll crush you. His voice cracking with anger, hands pounding again, the room igniting. The studio became a tinderbox. Sources report producers signaled security, their voices urgent. He's hot. But Warnock pressed on. You're a nobody, Stephen. I'm the real deal. His fury shaking, sweat beading as Colbert stood. Real deal? You're a tantrum, Senator, crashing live. His command sharp, piercing, the crowd erupting, some tossing cups, others live streaming, while Warnock roared, I'm not crashing, you're done. His voice thundering, eyes wild, the clash, peaking, with insiders noting, he's over the edge. The night hurtling toward a heated collapse. Colbert's pressure unyielding. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert hit its fiery zenith last night. As Stephen Colbert, his wit a relentless blaze, drove Senator Raphael Warnock, the Georgia senator and pastor, into a chaotic collapse during a heated clash, a ferocious showdown, spiraling into a breaking point on live TV, leaving the studio in turmoil, viewers agape, the internet a wildfire of reaction. Sources say Warnock's thundering roar, "I'm not crashing, you're done," met Colbert's brutal, devastating taunt that shattered his composure, sparking a meltdown that set to seal his dramatic exit. The night's peak a raw, explosive eruption. Colbert, his grin cold, landed a devastating blow. "Tantrum, Senator? Your mission's a stunt. You're no leader, just a loudmouth with a pulpit." His voice sharp, cruel, as he flashed a mock reel. Warnock's viral speeches, legislative, setbacks, the crowd reacting hard, some laughing, others gasping, while Warnock's face twisted. "Loudmouth? I'm a fighter, Stephen. You're a speck." His voice booming, fracturing with rage. The audience surging, cheers clashing with boos as producers watched, hands frozen, the live feed holding, chaos exploding. The host pressed the wound. "Fighter? You're a performer, Senator, burning live," his jab vicious, final. And Warnock lunged forward. "Performer? I've built progress. You've built nothing." His words furious, eyes blazing, with Colbert pouncing. "Progress? You're a meltdown, Senator. Your star's a bust," pointing at his trembling frame. The crowd roaring, some chanting, "Fall, fall," others shouting, "Hold on," as phones filmed, X-posts surging. "Warnock's done," one read, trending fast. Warnock roared, "I'm not a bust, you're trash." His hands slamming the desk, fury spilling, a bellow shaking the stage. The clash broke wide open. Insiders say Warnock stood fully. "Trash? I'm a force, Stephen. I'll crush you." His voice raw, unhinged, as Colbert leaned in. "Force? You're a fraud who's lost the plot, Senator, crashing live." His taunt merciless, the audience surging, some standing, filming, others yelling, with clips hitting X instantly. "Warnock's meltdown live," one read, racking up shares, another showing his roar. "He's lost it," going viral, millions watching. Warnock shouted, "I'm not a fraud, you're nothing." His voice shaking, desk rattling, the chaos overwhelming, his control gone. What primed the exit was Warnock's unraveling. Sources report he ripped off his mic. "You call me a fraud? I'm done with this circus." His voice a mix of rage, exhaustion, tossing the mic down, the crash resounding, while Colbert laughed. "Circus? You're the clown, Senator, get out." His words brutal, final, the crowd erupting, some rushing the stage, others chanting, "Out, out," as Warnock spun. "I'm leaving, you're pathetic." His fury blazing, the clash complete, with insiders saying, "He shattered," the night hurtling toward his exit, Colbert's taunt the spark that broke him. The show descended into sheer pandemonium last night as Senator Raphael Warnock, the Georgia senator and pastor, stormed off the set after a heated clash, his furious, mic-dropping exit on live TV, triggered by Stephen Colbert's ruthless taunt, "You're a fraud who's lost the plot," leaving the studio in shambles, viewers stunned, the internet exploding with the fallout of a showdown that broke him live. Sources say Warnock's raging cry, "I'm leaving, you're pathetic," as he tore away, marked the end of his stand, with Colbert's cold triumph resounding, the night's chaos hitting a blazing peak, the exit sealing a viral spectacle. Warnock, fury unleashed, ripped off his mic and stormed toward the exit. "I'm leaving, you're pathetic." His voice a ragged bellow, his frame tense, face flushed, pointing back. "This show's a sham," as Colbert stood, arms crossed. "Sham? You're the bust, Senator. You're done." his taunt sharp, victorious. The crowd roaring, some cheering, "Out, out," others gasping, "No, Warnock," while security trailed, hands hovering, unable to halt his charging retreat. The live feed capturing every wild stride, his figure vanishing into the wings, a tempest fading under the studio lights. The audience lost all control. Insiders say some surged forward, phones flashing, filming Warnock's stormy exit. Others pounded seats, shouting, "He's gone," while a few voiced support. "Warnock's real." The room a clash of noise, with producers stunned, their headsets buzzing. "He's out? Keep it live," one stammered. The broadcast holding, showing the discarded mic where Warnock once sat, now a testament to his collapse. What turned this moment into a spectacle wasn't just the rage, it was Warnock's downfall. Sources report his last snarl. "This show's a sham," roared as he vanished, barely audible, his defiance drowned in anger, while Colbert waved, "Sham? You're the wreck, Senator, goodbye." His final barb ruthless. The crowd splitting wider, cheers crashing against boos, with X exploding, clips of Warnock's frantic exit trending. "He's done," one post read, racking up shares. Another of his mic toss, "Colbert crushed him," going viral, millions watching the wreckage loop. Insiders say producers let the chaos unfold. The ratings spike a goldmine. The exit too raw to cut. The immediate aftermath slammed hard. Warnock's team scrambled backstage. Sources hint he raged in a hallway. "This isn't over," his voice. A furious rasp. Aides rushing to shield him from cameras, while Colbert strutted. "That's how you clear a loudmouth," he quipped to the crowd, their cheers deafening, some surging the stage, others filming, as security cleared the wings. The night's end a smoldering wreck. Online, the tide turned fast. Warnock crashed. One thread read, "Colbert's king." Another claimed, with analysts noting, "He broke him live." The host's victory locked. The chaos poised to blaze on. The fallout surged beyond. The studio, Warnock's exit, a spark that lit a firestorm. His political brand at risk. The clash a defining scar. The fallout from Senator Raphael Warnock's dramatic storming off The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night, after a heated clash with Stephen Colbert, has ignited a firestorm of reaction, with the Georgia senator's furious mic-dropping exit ending in his backstage roar, "This isn't over," turning a live TV showdown into a global spectacle, leaving Warnock's political brand bruised, Colbert's victory blazing. The internet, airwaves buzzing with takes that won't fade. Sources say what began as a defense of his legislative mission ended with Warnock broken. His downfall a viral blaze. The clash's ripples shaking everything in its path, sealing a saga now etched in public lore. Warnock's backstage rage landed. Like a spark, insiders report he stormed through a hallway, fists clenched. "This isn't over." His voice a raw snarl, aides hustling him past cameras as reporters swarmed, while X erupted, his statement, "I'll keep serving," posted. Later, pulling 150,000 likes, but swamped by replies. "You crashed, Warnock," trending fast, with clips of his stormy exit, mic toss looping millions of times. "Warnock crushed," a viral thread claimed. Memes of his retreat captioned, "Senator, meltdown," flooding TikTok, Instagram. Supporters rallied, "He's a fighter. They're cruel," one post pleaded, but the tide surged, his reputation singed. Colbert's camp reveled in the glory. Sources say his next show opened with, "We had Warnock. He flared. I floored him." His quip smug, victorious, pulling a 68% rating surge, snagging viewers hooked on the chaos, while insiders hint he's gloating. "He burned, I won." His team eyeing more daring strikes, with analysts noting, "He owned it," though some whisper, "Warnock's plotting." The triumph edged with risk. The crowd's cheers echoed online. Colbert rules, ringing across platforms, locking his edge sharper. The internet split like a fault line. Warnock fans mourned, "They ambushed him, he's gold." One ex-post read, racking up shares. While critics feasted, Warnock's a loud fraud. Another hit viral status, with debates raging, was it fair? Trending, clips of his fury dissected. "He snapped," one pundit said. "Colbert played it perfect," another added, predicting a hit to his voter base. Senate influence wavering, his brand scorched. Sources say Warnock's holed up, fuming, with talk of a counterstrike, maybe a fiery speech or media tour. His silence loud, the exit a scar that's sticking. Political insiders note his legislative agenda now faces skepticism, his public image under harsher scrutiny. The ripple effects are seismic, late nights rattled. Experts call it a shift. Colbert flipped the script, or fried it, one said. Networks eyeing riskier guests, or stricter control, risking fade if they falter, while viewers divide. Half cheer, he felt a star. Half cringe, too harsh. The clash a cultural burn. Warnock's fall, Colbert's peak, etched in viral lore. The saga's impact stretches beyond the studio. Warnock's brand faces new headwinds, his political pull questioned, while Colbert's stature soars, his stage a fortress. This isn't over, it's a fuse. Warnock's comeback, Colbert's next play, set to ignite. So stay tuned. If you're hooked on this madness, smash that subscribe button now. Don't miss the next blaze.